Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we're going to be breaking down and explaining all of the ways, up to 4, for each season on how to relocate and how the region lock system works. So that way, if you end up wanting to find yourself in a position to move regions, join other alliances, we're going to break and explain all of that down for you, for how it works in Season 1 and how it works in Season 2, and then what are the best and kind of worst or not favorable ways to go about relocating. With all of that in mind, if you enjoyed the content, make sure you sub, like, ring the notification bell, and if you want to join and be a part of our conversation, hit up the Discord. You can find a link to that in the pinned comment description right down below. So the number one option, or I should say, let me start with number 1. So we're going to start with Season 1, then we'll go to Season 2. Season 1, for the first option, is going to be utilizing your beginner relocation item. And what you do is you're going to go here, you're going to open up the chest, and then you're going to go to your satchel, which is the 5th one down or 2nd from the bottom. And then you're going to click on Beginner's Relocation, which is this item with arrows going out at each side. And it reads, relocates your city to an area in this region where the mist has been dispelled or to a random location in another region, changing your affiliated region to that region. This item is scrapped when your Sacred Hall reaches level 12. So that means that up until level 11, you can use this to move regions. Let's just give you an example of how it works. You click Use, Yes, and now you'll see that it shows up here. So I'm in Forgotten Lands. This is my current and affiliated region. If I was to move, now my current and new affiliated region would be Kaltia, or any of the 7 that are here. And that's pretty much just how that works. And you click confirm, and you would get teleported to a random area there. Now, if you're trying to, let's say you join an alliance. Another way to do it is, let's say you join the alliance, and then after you join the alliance, you can relocate to their territory, right? That's another way that you can go about it. But for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much the same thing, right? Especially if you're just trying to generally get out of the region, then you would go through this method. The number 2 option is utilizing Resurgence. And we're going to show you what this Resurgence is on the 8th chapter, Augustine chapter, Mask of Deceit. It looks like this. Instead of it being purple, it's red for the arrows coming out. And it reads, when this chapter ends, whether or not the objective has been met, the Resurgent feature will be enabled, allowing you to change your affiliated region. Now, let's show you what actually goes into that. There's 2 big things, and they're here at the bottom. Resurgence has the following effects. Number 1, 80% of all your legions will be severely wounded and placed in your hospital. So the moment that you move regions, 80% of your total troops or units will go to the hospital. Number 2, all policies will be reset and half of your prestige will be returned, right? So the value here is in, if you decide to use Resurgence, because I just consider this to be the last ditch effort, you want to try and do it earlier rather than later. Right? You would rather do this at level 12, 13, 14, 15 compared to level 22, 23, 24, 25. Why? Because the higher level you are, the more you've most likely progressed, the longer you've been playing, and the deeper you're into the policy pool, right? So the more prestige you've lost from then being able to invest in policies compared to if you're, again, a lower level and you haven't went that deep in policies. Also, I will give a pro tip here. Let's say you feel as though you're going to end up moving regions anyways. A pro tip here would be to stop spending your prestige on policies and just save it in the bank, right? Because the way that this works, my assumption here is that it's only going to return half of what you've spent, not what you currently have in your prestige bank. So that could be a way to kind of get around this, or a workaround. Of course, it would have to be tested, but just in my logical mindset, that's my rationale that I'm going with, and I hope that that is how it works. Okay, now let's go into number 3 here. So number 3 is going to be Cross-Region Alliance. Now, this is the 3rd to last Augerstone chapter for Season 1, Unscarred, and for Season 2. This Cross-Region Alliance, once this is met, all lords will be able to join alliances in any region, right? But you have to consider, this is pretty much when you're getting to Magma Daemon that's unlocked from Alliance Maneuvers, and then Flame Dragons unlocked from Improved Bravery. So you're probably at, maybe 15 days left until your season ends, right? So that's pretty late to not want to be able to move. However, Now let's get into the fourth option, which in my opinion is the best option. And this is something that you can use in Season 1 and Season 2, where, honestly, I wish I would have known about this earlier, right? Thankfully, this was confirmed by CoD CS, along with also other players that I had asked. In short, how it works is that we have, if let's say I'm in, and I have to show you on the map so it makes sense. Let's say I'm here in Zolan. This is my affiliated region and my current region. Let's say I'm a part of YFT Alliance. They're only in Zolan, right? Just in this example. Let's say I wanted to recruit more players from my alliance, or let's say that players from Forgotten Lands and adjacent / next to Zone 1 region has players in it that wants to join our alliance. Well, all you have to do is flag out to the region or the Zone 1 region that you want to recruit players from, or if players from that region want to join, and you just have to capture one behemoth. So if YFT flags out here to Forgotten Lands, and let's say they capture this giant bear, then anyone who's in Forgotten Lands could join YFT. This, to me, is a great workaround. One I wish was written somewhere in-game, just because I haven't seen it. And let me rephrase that. I don't know if it's written in-game. I haven't seen it written in-game, but if someone does know, or if you have found it, please share it with me. Thank you. Your boy, BN. #awesomeness. All right. So from here, and like I said, you can use this in Season 1 and Season 2. Now, let's transition to Season 2. Season 2 is pretty straightforward. The only thing that is not in Season 2 is Beginner Relocation and one other change. We're going to show that to you. Well, I'm actually, you know what? I'm already in Season 2, so here we go. Should zoom in. And the only other thing is that Resurgence starts earlier. So you remember in Season 1, Resurgence starts on the 8th Augurstone chapter, Mask of Deceit. In Season 2 / 1+, which is where we're at right now, Unyielding Fate, the first Augurstone chapter, releases Resurgence, right? So you can move right away. And again, remembering Mask of Deceit still opens up level 1 passes, so you still have to wait for the 8th Augurstone chapter to be had, and that pretty much breaks down how to understand relocations and region locks, right? Now, even though we didn't do a super deep dive into region locks, it's pretty straightforward, right? I would assume based on kind of what I've been explaining, but just to give you a short version here, is that whatever region you start in is where you are, right? Those are the ways that I explained are the only ways that you can technically move affiliated regions, right? Because if your alliance flags out here or flags out into any adjacent regions, it will only show your current region, but your affiliated region will still be where you started from. So that's something that's really important because, again, that's just the way it works. Same thing with alliances. Alliances have to essentially be remade if you want to start in a different region, if you want your affiliated region for that alliance to be that. However, with the way that the system works and you being able to move your alliance across regions and then players in those regions can join, it is a workaround, but it's kind of the opposite way of doing the workaround. Essentially, it's because players and alliances are locked per their region. With, like we said, if you wanted to make an alliance in a region that was really far away and you didn't think you were ever going to be able to get there flagging-wise, that's what you'd have to do. You'd have to leave the alliance, relocate to that region, and then start a new alliance up. Because alliances are essentially region-locked. With, again, as I said, that one way being the only way to really do it to where you could recruit players from another region. All right, that is it for me. Again, hopefully we did a good job of explaining all the ways that you can go about joining an alliance in another region, relocating to another region, how alliances can factor into that, and we did a decent job, at least of displaying most of that. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. I know we did one of these videos before, but after learning some new things, I wanted to expand and just do an updated version for everyone, especially with, obviously, of the great influx that we've been seeing coming into Call of Dragons. Hopefully this video will do you guys some justice. And help you out sooner than later. And again, with all of that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That is going to be it for me. As always, until next time, your boy, will catch you later.